Hello, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
I'm Joe.
Welcome to the Slovak Farm.
This is the farm where we grow cross-stitch.
One stitch at a time. Today is Monday, October 23rd. Happy Monday. Yeah, it's not a...
Oxymoron.
Yeah, today it is. The cat has an opinion today. It's just been that kind of a day. How was your guys' week? Ours was okay, I guess.
Next week we're going to have a story.
Next week. They're turning the power off village-wide to do transformer repairs or replacements or something. I don't have the thing pulled up. I don't remember exactly what it is. At
They're upgrading the power grid.
They're upgrading the power grid at the substation. That's like the other side of the church. So like there's the church and its parking lot and its empty space, a farmer's field, and then the substation right there behind us. So we're not going to have power Friday night into Saturday for like 16 hours. It's going to be a blast. Thankfully, the end of October weather is actually cooperating and it's not going to be super cold. Because, you know, that was a possibility considering how cold it has been.
If today was Saturday, we would be boned.
If today was Saturday, we wouldn't be home.
Oh no, I would have been home to make sure the pipes didn't break.
The pipes aren't going to break because it didn't go below freezing.
Oh, it didn't? I thought it did.
No, it just
there was that
freezing.
much frost on my car.
It was just at freezing.
Okay.
The pipes would not have broke.
Phobia of mine.
Okay. It wasn't going to happen. And if it did, well.
Otherwise.
Been a day.
What happened to you? I haven't had I got
It's been
home.
a day. It's been a weekend. I'm just annoyed with people and their shitty behaviors.
He agrees.
See, somebody agrees.
Oh, random story.
Sure.
I taught Faja that trick.
Oh.
Because he said, why can't I get it? I was like, hold your hand up like this. Get it to zero on that, and then slowly bring your hand back.
Yeah, that's something where if you don't hold stuff up, I don't think you realize that if you're not holding stuff up, I don't think you realize that's how it happens. So.
Mm-hmm. And his camera, because he was talking with his hands, and his much closer than we are. So, yeah, and I was like, dude, just hold your hand up. And he's like, oh my god, I love that trick. I'm using it from now on.
Great trick.
Yup.
Yeah. I went to a fiber festival on Saturday. It was okay. I mean, it was okay. Let me rephrase that. It was good. It was a good show. It was a nice show. They had good quality options, but it was more geared towards the spinning and weaving people. Really more towards spinning, people who spin their own yarn. There was a lot of roving and a lot of that stuff. There wasn't a lot of already spun yarn there to purchase, which is my thing. So for me, it wasn't a great show to attend. It was nice. I got to spend some time with some friends. Enjoyed myself. We went out to lunch afterwards. Now, mind you, we left. We got to the Applebee's at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We did not leave Applebee's until after 3:30. It was probably more like 3:45 when we left Applebee's. It took that long for the waitress to... I didn't even know what she was doing. I'm pretty sure our food sat back in their kitchen on their shelf where they put food when it's done for a while. Because my food was not the temperature it should have been. It wasn't exactly cold, but it wasn't warm. But it wasn't hot. Like, you could tell, because I got pretzels. I got their pretzel sticks and their beer cheese dipping sauce. Like, my dipping sauce had a giant layer of skin on it. Because you know how when sauces like that start to cool down, they get that chunky skin on it? It was massive.
Even if you keep it warm, just touching the air without being sealed will form that layer.
No, this is definitely a cooled.
Okay. Hey, I was just saying, even if under a heating lamp, that thing forms. That's all I'm saying.
I know, but it was new.
Yeah, so, yeah, okay. I play video games, not gonna lie. Because I only play video games on the weekend for the most part. Because during the week, by the time I'm done everything I do for the evening, it's bedtime. So that was my weekend. I just played video games while she was playing around because I had bingo desire, and I really don't know that group of people, actually.
Well, yeah, you don't, but it's okay.
Whatever, go have fun. I'm not that person. I'm like, go have fun with your friends.
Yeah, I had fun. So that was that. Alright, well, why don't we shout out our commenters?
Hey, y'all, what's up?
Because that's about all we have for the intro, so we'll shout out our commenters and then move on to whips.
Baja, Lucinda, June, Angie, Chef, Edu, Susie Q, Bridget, Janet, Andre, Teresa, and Tamara. I love the name Tamara.
That's a pretty cool name. Alright, well, thank you all for watching our video, for commenting on our video. We truly appreciate it. We appreciate the interactions. We appreciate the views.
Yep.
Yes, let us go on to whips.
Okay.
Whips.
Baldur's Gate 3. Which I may or may not have reset, so I can play it with a different character, because there's a lot of a certain types of checks, and it wasn't something my character could do, because it gives you the best lore options. I rolled a completely different character because ADD and D&D make for a million characters.
Correct.
If you know, you know.
So, I started the week working on my Supernatural cell. I'm on the Ghosties block. The Ghosties. And of course I did this for the Sal prompt for Daily 30. This is stitched on 32 count heirloom by the Slovak Farm. And my 319 stitches was all frame. All frame. All black frame. Whee! I only have, well, I have four blocks to do. Whee!
Cuddles.
Cuddles. Alright.
Cuddles.
Cuddles.
Got a question for you.
What?
Has the 310 cone gotten any smaller?
No! I swear.
You bought a cone of 310 how long ago?
It's been at least 10 years.
It's the most commonly used floss for you. And wow, and I've been helping.
Yeah.
I need to do some black on white silhouette stuff. Ooh, that'd be actually pretty cool.
There you go. Next? Okay. The next project was Lucy Beam's Immortal, which I started at the beginning of the month. And I have half of mine to be a smart aleck with this.
What?
You'll see when I pull it out. I use this for the prompt of something that was in high demand. Oh, it was World Egg Day was the theme for Daily 30 for last week that I stitched on for last week. So, something that was in high demand, everybody wanted this after market, and we all know it. And then I also use this for the eye because the chart title is an eye for the monthly. So I did 640 stitches. Oops. Buying cross stitch, like I am missing the L and the borders. So the smart aleck in me is thinking, wonder if I could finish it by the end of the month since I started it at the beginning of the month. So that's how my brain works.
So that's an option for anything I can fit it for, right?
Sure. We'll throw it as an option. That is on a 32 count custom that I dyed with the EGA, so not something I can do. Repeat. My next project The Shores of Huckran Hollow. Now I am only doing the blocks that have verse in them. So the lighthouse, the moon, big center block, oh that house, the whale, and then I'm also doing the memorial block. You will see that I have most of that done, most of it done. No, you won't, because I'm probably not going to be able to hold this up so you can see all of it. This is on a piece of 32 count Cleveland crud. This is pre-pandemic Cleveland crud. So Cleveland crud looks a little different now. So...
Did I get it all?
It's not in focus. There you go. So I have to finish up the wheel block, and then all of my verse blocks will be done. And I will do the memorial block on a different version of Cleveland crud. I finished the block border, and I think I put these in. I did 723 stitches on this total. So one motif that is larger than the other. The whale is larger than the other critters. The E, because they're E in the monthly, because there's an E stitched on here. And then M in the monthly, I use this for partial for M in the monthly, because there's an M stitched on here somewhere. There's a couple of them. I know I did the outline. I did this wave, that wave. I put the eyes on these two fish, and then I started in on the water. And then, yeah, that was all I did. Yeah, that was all I did.
I have a question about the monthly that it probably should have been asked like 10 months ago.
What? What?
Sorry, I'm fixing the camera real quick because it was really bad.
Okay.
Can you do things like M and there are monsters in it?
Yep.
Because guess what's really funny?
What?
Both whales and giant squid were actually, and octopus were actually considered monsters.
Giant squids were considered
back in
monsters.
that time period.
Yep. Alright. So that finished. I used my pass for for the prompt something with an egg shape on it. That finished the weekly because I did a couple of them last week. I had one more monthly to finish, which was the M. The reason I only used Shores for part of the M is because I used Spirit of Christmas. There's Mices on there. That's an M. There you go. This is by Sister Lou Stitches. This was last year's exclusive. It was in a box from the Slovak Farm. This year's exclusive is not a box. And 100 stitches finished this. So I finished stitching in this mouse. I put his feet on him. There was a little bit on this mouse's butt that I had to finish, and the stool and the trunk of the tree. I actually really didn't have a whole lot. I pulled this out and thought there was going to be actually less than 100 stitches on it. Thankfully, I got to 100 stitches on it to finish it. Yay, Mices. So Spirit of Christmas is a finish.
Yay!
Hooray. Alright. That brought us to cross stitch weekend. Was 24 hours a week. Cross stitch was this weekend. I have taken to starting a new project on 24 hours of cross stitch weekend because there's no way I'm cross stitching for 24 hours consecutively. Most of the time because of life, I don't get 24 hours in total for the weekend. It's just what it is. It is what it is. So I start a new project. That's my thing. It's what I like to do. I started Cottage Garden Samplings, the Snowman Collector Series, The Pirate. When this came out, so if you don't know, I play this game where we're pirates. One of my shipmates was like, oh my god, we have to stitch this as a group stitch. So we did. We're all stitching it. Well, we're not all stitching it. Most of us are stitching it as a group stitch. So fun. And this is on a piece of heirloom by the Slovak Farm. I had a lot of stitching in on this. I did use this for one prompt, for the new week that was released on Friday. All of this is obviously new stitching. This is 1,075 stitches. And I only counted it for one daily 30 prompt because I was done with the monthly. I'm done with the Olympics. I'm done with...
Wait a minute. Whoa. Breaks. The person who was, oh my god, so worried is done in October.
Yes.
Just checking.
Yes. I'm done with the Olympics and I finished my monthly and I said, you know what? I can just not worry about fitting this into something for the daily 30 and just stitch. So that's what I did. I did have to stitch this sail twice. No. This sail twice. This sail here twice. Because
sorry, try not to move it.
I put an extra line on that sail, so it got all funkered up. Let me tell you how long it took me Friday night to figure out that was the problem, though. Lord have mercy. So a solid start on that. If I do say so myself.
So what happens when Laura's not worried about a prompt?
That was a lot of all one color. Most of that 1,000 stitches is one color.
Hey, honey.
What?
I can't stitch like that, and I do monochromatics. I'm just saying you're that awesome. Okay?
I mean, I was still counting my stitches because I was doing it for other things. But...
Well, I know, but you weren't worried about prompts. You just sat down and stitched one thing and kept track of it.
Yes.
And I'm just complimenting how awesome you are. Okay? Take the compliment. Comment below if you are A guy who has to deal with this, or B, the girl who causes this problem when you don't take compliments.
Maybe you're a guy that doesn't take compliments.
Oh, does that too?
Or you're a girl that has to deal with someone who doesn't take compliments.
Or neither one of you can take compliments.
I didn't actually work on this week, but I realized yesterday I haven't shown this in a while. This is my wool applique project. I know that I have shown you the two quilts, the teacup and the sewing machine. I don't think I have shown you. I have the dress form circle done. And I got the notions circle done. Now I did my notion circle a little different because these are supposed to have French knots and I hate French knots. So I just did like a little straight stitch. These are supposed to be fabric. The thread is supposed to be fabric. I'm pretty sure the needle is supposed to also be a piece of fabric. I did it all as thread because I could. Now I have to finish. So I have one more thing to finish on that, and that is... Or no, this is the notions, this is the thimble and scissors, which I did, and then the notions is the one I have to finish. I have to attach, the reason, I have to actually attach all of this, because the measuring tape thing is like a piece of ribbon, as you can see. And then you have buttons that you have to sew down on it. Most of what's in this goes in that block. Not gonna lie. I have to do all that and I just haven't, like, I have to figure out how to get the ribbon onto the piece of fabric with the interfacing, and I just haven't done that yet. Oh, and I have to cut out the little white piece that says buttons because the piece that I got in this kit wasn't big enough, so I had to get some more. And I just haven't done it, so I haven't really actually worked on this in a while, and I need to because I'm not close to being done. And if you will remember a couple weeks ago, I had a little counted thread canvas project that I worked on. I don't know if I told this story. It was for an EGA class. I mean, I told you it was for an EGA class. I don't know if I told this portion of the story. The lady that was teaching it for the EGA class had attended the retreat we put on in 2021 with her friend, Mary. Pat and Mary had attended this retreat. And they had given us little kits of counted thread canvas projects. I had not worked on mine or started mine because I was kind of intimidated looking at it, trying to figure out how to read the graph. Well, now that I know how to read the graph and read all the instructions, this is great. So I pulled out the one Mary had kitted up for us, which was Quarantine Quickie. And I followed her master chart, and mine doesn't quite look like this. But it's okay. I might have miscounted. My other issue is... So here's mine.
Is it done?
No. I ran out of Krynic for that little... I don't remember what it's called.
It'll be okay.
I did order a spool of this color, because she did tell us what color she used, from Witchelt. So when it gets here, I can finish it. It's not quite the same color. It's not going to be that big of a deal to pull this blue out and just use the color as I get it. It's really not. So no, it's not done yet. But that has been my stitching for the week. I'm still working on Joe's giant crochet blanket.
I love you for real.
I love you. And a few other crochet things. But nothing of grandeur to show you,
Oh.
so...
Saturday I should get some stitching in.
Okay.
Well, unless we go over your parents' house the entire day.
Well, that's true.
No electricity.
We are supposed to go pick some stuff up. Oh, we have to figure out how we're going to coordinate that because I don't know if we're going to leave the dog home.
No,
So.
maybe, in all honesty, I can load the stuff up myself.
But do you know what I want from in that house?
No, we can swap positions and you can go get the stuff you want.
Yes, that's true. I can go anytime and get my stuff, so...
No, I was like that day. We can just swap who's in the car with the dog.
Okay. Alright. That has been my stitching for the week. I do have haul from the show, the fiber show on Saturday. So we'll be back and I'll show you that.
Okay.
Haul.
It's all you, baby!
It's all me. It's all me. I just got 2 yarns, 2 hanks of yarn from, it is called Bewitched Pigments Fiber Arts Company. A lot of their yarns have like witch related connotations. They call their DK weight Charmed. This colorway is called On the Vine. It's DK weight. It's what, 100 grams, 231 yards. And as I was looking at their stuff, I was listening to the one lady talking to another customer about, they do like a book club and they're like witch themed books and you get like the book and the yarn. I don't know. Probably not books I would like because I'm weird about the books I read. But they had a lot of really pretty yarn. So I will probably save the tag. And go.
What were those letters again that ended with a K?
What?
You said something about there was some kind of weight, the DK or...
DK weight.
Yeah, what the heck is that? For those who don't know, what is that?
So yarn comes in different what's called weights, which is the thickness of your strand.
Oh, so the DK weight is the thickness of the strand.
Right.
Okay, that's what I was looking for.
The thickness of your strand.
Because I'm assuming maybe somebody else, especially one of the people that came over because of me, might not know that either. I didn't. What?
I don't have any of my fingering weight. So yeah, so your weight is your thickness of your strand. I don't know like why they call it fingering, DK, worsted, bulky, sock. There's a couple other different types.
Okay, I was just curious.
I don't know like how they determine that or anything like that. I'm not that deep in it, but I, as a crocheter, like the DK weight. That's like kind of a crochet weight. That's good crochet weight. I do work with fingering weight. I can make a shawl with fingering weight, but if I'm just buying it without a project in mind, I tend to go for DK weight because more crochet patterns call for this thickness.
Okay.
Okay. That's it for haul this week. I'll have more next week because I've got a few things on order that I want to get, have wanted to get.
Okay.
So on to plans and announcements.
Boop.
Plans and announcements.
Craziness, video games, maybe some stitching. I don't know.
He doesn't know.
Well, I think.
Well, that's okay. Alright. Historical dress this week for Daily 30.
Is this yours?
Yes, it is. And I should have pulled this up. I went a little odd on this. Because instead of talking about like historical dresses or historical dress periods, I went with things like history of things. So, the first one being like kind of the history of clothing. Up until medieval times, most clothing was literally just a T-shaped tunic. It was like literally just a tube of fabric that had sleeves coming out of it. You put your arms in and it went down and it belted around. Very basic because, you know, we needed basics. For that, the prompt is to stitch on your whip with the least flosses in it. So there are my whips with only one floss color.
Lace corset.
Okay then. We'll go with lace corset.
I love how she actually stopped making the mark on the thing when I did like, seriously, dude?
Yes, seriously. Speaking of corsets, the corset or stays were often used interchangeably, even though they were slightly different. Throughout most of history, the corset was just to sort of keep it all together, we shall say. It wasn't until the Victorian era where we got corsets that
Wonder Brawled.
pushed it up and, well, in some Georgian, there was some pushing, but mostly it was just kind of hold it all together, maybe push you up a little bit to give you some cleavage. The Victorians are the ones who invented what is called the S-shaped corset, where you get that hourglass figure. So, unfortunately, Bridgerton got it incorrect. No, Lady Featherington did not wear a corset that could squeeze her waist into the size of an orange. It wasn't a thing back then. Anyways. Also, I'm sorry, bras were invented by a woman. By the end of World War II, corsets were absolutely out of fashion. They really started going out of fashion with both World Wars because of metal shortages and metal needs for the war efforts. They really started, so by the end of World War II, they were out of style. So, stitch on a whip that is out of style. There will need to be some explaining next week when I tie this in. But
it just fits the prompt too well.
It does fit the prompt too well.
I do have one other thing that might have led to the lace corset being out of style. Women had to do a lot more manual labor because all the guys were getting shot at.
Well, and see,
imagine working in a manufacturing industry where you have to do physical labor wearing a freaking corset.
But here's the thing. Throughout most history, women were doing work, domestic works, with corsets on. The women who wore these corsets that sucked their waist in so little were really the women who sat around and did nothing all day. They were the upper class. So corsets really were usable to work in. But what really pushed the corset out of style, as a lot of things with women's clothing, was really the 1920s and the slimming of the female dress figure. Petticoats were shrunk. Petticoats went away because, that 1920s look of a very slim column look. Corsets went away because they were bulky and they added bulk and all kinds of things. And that's really where the modern bra sort of grew out of. Also because women were looking for something that would support them, but not, because you could see the ridges of a corset under your clothing. So you had to put a layer on to protect your corset from your skin and your skin from your corset. Then you had to put your corset on. Then you had to put a layer on so that you couldn't see the ribbing of your corset and give you a sleek line. And then you would put on the overdress and all that. Hold, please.
Would you like to know one of the more modern uses for a corset or corset-like thing? Star Trek.
Yep.
A lot of the people have actually said that in Star Trek and a lot of the sci-fis where they have flat, skin-tight clothing, they're actually wearing a variation of a corset. There's
definitely a variation of a corset. During the 1950s, a lot of women wore them. They were called girdles.
Yep. Okay, next.
That sort of thing. The history of the pocket is another one of those we did it to ourselves, ladies, things. Pockets were originally tied on over your corset because your corset helped distribute the weight of the pocket. And they were quite, they could be like this long and this big. They were quite significant in size. And it would go underneath your petticoat against your garment that kind of went down your camisole, I think is what it was called, or your shift. And your outer dress, your petticoat, would have a slit in it. You could stick your hand in and you could put all kinds of things in your pockets. Put all kinds of things in your pocket. And they were tied around your waist. When we decided that wearing dresses that were very thin and light and not all of those layers were fashionable is when pockets went away and we started carrying the modern purse. And I'm kind of condensed souping this because we got to get wrapped up. But, so, stitch on something that you could tuck into a pocket. I have already done this because my offering was the snowman spyglass. You could totally tuck that into a pocket because oftentimes pirates would have small spyglasses that tucked into a pocket. Okay. So, again, we go back to the modern bra and how it was kind of came to be. It really took off in the war eras because of shortages in metal. So stitch on a whip where you have run short of something. I'm probably going to use my past for this. I could probably come up with a couple things that I could throw as offerings for this, but...
Okay.
Okay. And then... why on earth did we wear so many layers? Well, originally that petticoat was part of your outfit. Your outer garment was open and you would see the petticoat and then it kind of became closed in. And, we have to protect our skin from our certain garments and certain garments from our skins. Like that under camisole would be made of something that was highly washable, because we didn't have laundry like we do now, and we didn't bathe like we do now. So you had to protect your garments from your skin, but you also had to protect your skin from some of your garments because some of the material was not nice against skin. Blah, 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 and all of that. So, eventually, we just ended up with clothing. Modern women can get that nice poofy skirt look with a tulle petticoat. A lot of times you will see that under a ball gown, a wedding ball gown. Or if a lady wears a cocktail dress that's really poofy, it's got tulle underneath of it. So stitch on something that has become larger than you expected. Here are your offerings.
BVS.
That is the one that I will not identify on camera because I no longer support the designer. Alright. I realized we didn't actually say what ones I was going to do for that, but that'll be the surprise for next week. Okay. I very much intend to get that wool applique thing so I can work on finishing it. We threw this on the last week at the end after we had finished filming announcements and said goodbye, but I'm going to put it on here again. This year's Slovak Farm exclusive is, by Sister Lou Stitches, is Christmas Story. This gorgeous pattern was designed by Sarah exclusively for the Slovak Farm. It is stitched on what did I call it? Fireflies, which is an opalescence. You can buy both the pattern and the fabric from the Slovak Farm. Oh, and the Sullivan's threads from the Slovak Farm. The fabric is a custom cut, so you will need to contact me to order it. The pattern is listed on the website. And you can find all of the Sullivans listed on the website. That's it for the week. That's what we really like these lovely people to do.
Have a lovely week. Please like, comment, subscribe, bell notification, thingy bobby, the whole YouTube thing. And by the way, comment below if you know what country singer we've been impersonating this video.
These will be some great answers. Thank you guys for spending a little bit of time with us this week. We hope you have enjoyed yourself, and we will see you next week.